don't know if we're on yet, but we're going to see what we're going here. As soon as we hit Facebook, folks, we'll start. There we go. Okay, see if we're on. 2:29, another minute. Check it out. Just waiting to get on Facebook, folks. Then we're going to start with today's dish. It's a healthy dish. I guess pasta I got is somewhat healthy. It's a Smart Taste by Rizzoni. It has more fiber to it. There is no sugar. There also is no saturated fat to this pasta, which is great. And we're gonna get into that momentarily. Okay, we're gonna see what we got here. Let's get out. All right, folks, still waiting here. As soon as we're on, we'll get started. As soon as we're on the Facebook. Hopefully it'll be in another minute. All right, here we go. We are in. Okay, Joan, how are you, Joan? Got Joan Cruppy Asher watching. It says here, you're on What's Going to Make Me Hungry. Yes, that's right. We're going to make you nice and hungry today, folks, but in a healthy way. We're going to start cooking a little more healthier here for this beat up body that I got here. Okay, I can't promise you that once we have the restaurants on, but I will tell you right now that we're going to try and do as healthy as possible for these demonstrations. Okay, today we have what they say in Italian is pasta aglio olio, which means pasta with garlic and oil. Okay, I'm doing a little variation on that. For you garlic lovers, you're gonna love it. We're gonna do a roasted garlic version of it. Then we're gonna also add some nice garden vegetable to it to make it a little more healthier and a little more, how can I say, tasteful. Rather than just having the garlic in the oil, we're gonna do a light saute with some vegetable with a roasted garlic. Now, what do I mean by that? We're gonna use a process that's similar to roasting garlic that's gonna infuse the garlic flavor into the oil that you use. So if we're gonna get started, we're gonna get started right now, and then we'll get into all the history facts later about the dish and the ingredients. Okay, everything here is pretty healthy. The arugula is healthy for you. There's a lot of health benefits to that. We'll start with our mise en place here. So we're gonna start off with our garlic. I got about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic right here, and what I'm gonna do is I have about a cup of olive oil in this little pot right here, and we're gonna cook our garlic in that, and it's gonna roast it. It's a little smoky now, so we're gonna have to bring it up here. There we go. If you see right there, it's kind of roasting our garlic nice and slow. And once that turns like a nice brownish color, we're gonna shut it off and let that infuse. Okay. Again, a cup of olive oil. I had the oil running, so it's cooking up our garlic now. I'm gonna take a look at our garlic in a little bit. I think we're almost there with our garlic. It's gonna be infused into it. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we're gonna shut that off now. We'll take it off here. We don't want it too bitter. Kind of roasted up that garlic pretty quick, so we got that. You kind of want to do a little slower than what I did, but it works. It's good. Okay, we have our pasta right here. I chose spaghetti, the Smart Taste spaghetti by Ronzoni. Again, it's got about 2 times the amount of fiber, all right, that you would normally use, that you would normally have in pasta. There is no sugar to it. There is no saturated fat. It's about 180 calories per two ounces. Okay, so that's probably like the most heavy, the most caloric thing we have to this dish. Okay, so that's going to be really good to do. Then we have, I took some nice cherry tomatoes, which I love doing with pasta, and I cut them in half. So you have about a cup or so of the cherry tomatoes, and then I'm putting a little twist. I got some baby arugula right here. Okay, we're going to add that to our pasta dish. Again, we're going to lightly saute our ingredients, and then just throw our pasta in and coat it with that infused garlic that we have here. In fact, I have so much garlic in there that it's cooking. I'm going to take some of it out and let that infuse itself, because it's really cooking up too much here. So we're going to take out those garlic cloves we have. Normally you want to roast it to like a brown, but because I was preparing the show, we have a lot of garlic in there. So we're going to just leave one in there just to help it infuse a little more. Okay, so we got that going. Excellent. And we'll remove that later. Okay, and then for our other ingredients in our mise en place, okay, I have about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and a little bit of pepper to add to our pasta at the end. Okay, so we're going to get started here. Our pasta pot is boiling. We're going to throw our pasta in. I just want to say hello to a couple of people. Hello, Joe Staz, Mr. Staz, the chef, the great chef down in Florida. How are you? Doing a little variation on pasta aglio olio. I'm making it like a roasted garlic. I'm infusing my oil now with garlic, like a roasted garlic, so we have that flavor. Okay, I prefer to mix everything in a wok because it envelops everything. The sides, you don't have to worry about too much of the pasta falling out. So let's get started here. I'm gonna remove my lid. Okay, I'm gonna put my pasta in, and when this is done, our dish will be ready to go. Okay, so here we go. If you notice, I kind of switch it around so that the pasta does not all go in one area. Okay, so we got that. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to take my tongs, which is my tool of choice for today. This is all I'm going to need today to do the dish. We got that going, and we're going to move it up a little more, get that cooking. In about 10 minutes or so, we're going to have our pasta ready, and we're going to get the rest of our stuff ready too. As you can see, my garlic is in here. It's a little dark. That's not really what you want to do, so you take it out a little earlier that way, so that you have a nice infused roasted garlic flavor to your oil, which is what we got going right here. Okay, and we're gonna get all our ingredients ready here. I have my arugula, I have my cherry tomatoes next, which we're gonna take care of as soon as that pasta is cooked, which will be in about 10 minutes or so. Okay, and let's see what else we got here. Let's see who else is watching. We got Jeff Bosey watching. Jeff, how are you, Mr. Bosey? Mr. Bosey has his own show with Mr. Ray, and I hope you guys watch it. Let's see what else we got here. We got also Mr. Joe Staz has got a question. Doing good. Thanks for asking. Hope you do well. It's like I can smell the garlic from here. Yep. Smelling the garlic from here. I can smell it all over the place. It's right now in that oil. You're going to have the flavor of the garlic. Okay, it's infused in there. And that's the point of this whole dish. Instead of, sauteing the garlic lightly and everything in the oil as you're creating the pasta dish, we're going to cut some corners. We're going to infuse the garlic into the oil like a roasted flavor, which it is. Basically, it's roasted. And we're going to use that for our garlic dish, our aglio olio. Okay, so we got that going. We got our pasta cooking here. We're gonna go in there and separate, twist it up a little bit. Not quite ready yet. As you can see, it's a little stiff still. So we got a little more to go. There we go. Mix it up. Okay. Alright, so we got that right now. Again, I like to use a wok with anything like this because it gives me an opportunity to toss it and hopefully and not have the pasta fall out the side. So that's a good thing. Any other questions here we got here? Joan, any questions? Anyone else out there? Just want to say last week's show for the Indian fried bread did very well. Got about almost 2,000 people were watching it, which is great. Before that, our pesto show was phenomenal. We had about 2,500 people watching that show, which is another good thing. So everybody keep on watching that show, keep on sharing it, and let's get it out there with all these dishes and everything, okay? What else can I say? With the Indian fried bread, it was amazing as I was watching. I like the show called Yellowstone, which is a Kevin Costner series about a ranch in Montana, kind of like a modern day Dallas. Great show, and they show obviously the Native American Indians on the reservations and everything. And the mother was cooking the Indian fried bread for the children for their breakfast. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I looked, and mine looked very similar to that. So that's a good thing. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was neat. And then that's the second time on that show they featured Indian fried bread. So the first time was when Rip, if you guys are familiar with the show, who was the head of the ranch hands, Cowboys, made it for his girlfriend, who was the daughter of Kevin Costner, for breakfast, cowboy breakfast, and that's where I got my original cowboy breakfast theme from that. Okay, so pasta's got a little more to go. Once that's ready, we're gonna start with our lightly sauteing of our vegetable. We're gonna save the arugula for last. I'm gonna turn this on now. Get this going. Okay, let's see. All right, so what's left is our cherry tomato, which we're going to put in there. We're going to take some of the we're going to put our oil right in there. We're going to put our cherry tomato in. Start to lightly saute that. Add our arugula, and then add the pasta in right after that. So that should be pretty cool. Can't wait. I know my wife is waiting for her lunch, which this is going to be. So it'll be pretty cool to see what happens. Again, it's a nice little healthy dish. Both of us are looking forward to it. No meat. We're getting tired of meat. Well, I guess we'll save our meat for tonight. So this is a nice thing to have for lunch, or a nice Sunday, or whenever you don't want to make those big feasts. It's always nice to make this. Now, this is also a dish that you can actually eat cold too, as well. Almost like the salads that they make in the delis, especially Italian delis. They'll make some kind of salad like this with the spaghetti, the garlic and oil, and the arugula and the tomatoes. And they'll make it up, and they'll make it into a salad so you can have it cold as well, which is also pretty neat. So as soon as this pasta is ready and this pan is getting hot, we're going to start. Okay. I'm going to start now by just adding my oil to the wok, okay? We're going to do that right now. We're going to add the oil to the wok. And another thing too, you can do this with spinach and cherry tomato. And what you can do is you can put it in a nice bowl. Add your oil because it's hot anyway, and you can mix it. So I see my oil is kind of cooking in there a little bit. So we're gonna see how our pasta is. It's gonna be done in about a couple minutes. We're gonna add our cherry tomatoes to this. Okay, got the cherry tomatoes in there. It's cooking up a little bit. It's gonna have that nice garlic flavor to it. Might as well add a little pepper. If I had a little hot pepper, I'd be doing that too as well, but I don't. There we go. A little pepper in that. No need to add any salt or anything because we're going to use our Parmesan cheese, as you know, which is going to have plenty of that saltiness to it. If you don't want to stick with veggies, you can go with putting some bacon or pancetta or prosciutto in there too as well. If you want to do that, and that's pretty neat. Okay, we're gonna take a little pasta out, and we're gonna test it out here. See. Okay, it's gonna be ready to go. So we're gonna shut that off. It's going to be ready to go in a minute. We're just going to take it from the pot into that. That's where I use my tongs. Okay, so let's cook it up. Again, it's a lightly sauteed, so you don't want it smoking or going crazy. All right, because we're going to saute everything in there, so we don't want to do that. Okay. And I'm going to add my arugula now. Just put it on top here. Getting that nice baby arugula. Alright. Got my arugula, I got my cherry tomato. We're going to put a little more pepper on here. Over that. Again, you don't want to cook through on your arugula, okay? So we're going to mix it in right now. Just like that. Okay. We're going to take our pasta, make sure it's nice and drained. Well, drain as best as we can like this. Plop it in. Again, lightly saute. We don't want to go crazy here. Taking our pasta, adding it to our garlic and oil. Our roasted garlic, I should say. We're almost there. And all that garlic and everything, and all the arugula, everything is going to get it. All that infused garlic in the oil. It'll be delicious, folks. Don't worry about it. I wish you could taste it, but if you make it, according to how I do it, you'll love it. I'm sure Mr. Staz will have his own way of doing it, but this is my way of doing the garlic and oil. Okay, so there you go. We have our pasta and everything. Notice, it's a very, the pasta itself, the smart one, is a very whitish looking pasta. Okay, I'm going to add my pepper in here. I'm going to add a little Parmesan cheese. Alright. And then I'm going to toss it and do whatever else I can do with it. I'm going to shut it off. Shut off our heat. Then we're going to mix our pasta up. We're gonna fill around. Okay. Getting there. Alright, so as you can see, this is what we got here. We're gonna keep mixing it. Take our tongs, mix it around. Get our cherry tomatoes up there. Mix it in with our arugula. Almost there, folks, almost there. Alright. Okay, a little more pepper. A little more Parmesan cheese. These are our bowls. We're going to give it one more final mix. You know, cherry tomatoes up there. That you can see the oil in there. And your arugula. Everything going there. Going strong, going strong. Okay. And there we have it. Voila. We have our aglio olio roasted olive and oil with our pasta, our spaghetti, our arugula, our cherry tomato, with a little Parmesan and a little pepper, using our Smart Taste pasta. And there you go. You guys should enjoy it. I'm going to be serving it to my beautiful wife in a minute. Harriet, would you like some? Sure. There you go. And there you go. So we got some nice cherry tomatoes in there, some nice arugula, and we'll get into the dish a little more. There's a lot of historical facts I found out about our ingredients. Maybe people know it, maybe other people don't know it. We're gonna see. Okay. Meantime, let me serve this out. Here we go. Serve it out now. And there you go, folks. Voila. There you go. We're gonna turn it. I like to turn my pasta. Make sure we get a lot of arugula there for the little woman. There we go. Alright. A little more cherry tomato for her. It's a nice dish, huh? Okay, now that's for the beloved Harriet right there. Harriet, we're all set. We got her dish right here. And got her a fork. Get me a fork. There we go. I want to dedicate the show to my Aunt Jenny, who has been begging me to do something healthy. So there you go. Yeah, it's a lot, but you'll eat it. I'm sure you'll like it. Okay, so there you go. So there we have our pasta, garlic and oil. Right there. We're gonna get into some of the healthy aspects of it. Give me a minute. Let me turn the camera over, and we'll be all set. Okay, now the arugula shrinks bit, so that's why you're not really seeing all of it right there. Let me just get my camera here. Hey, oops. Let's go. All right, here we go. So that's our dish for today. It's a nice little dish, a derivative from the original pasta aglio olio, which originated in, they say, Naples, and also in the regions of Calabria, too. So that's interesting to know. So let me give it a taste, and I have a little more history for you, too. And I'll tell you more benefits about this dish. Besides having the olive oil, which is in itself a benefit, and obviously olive oil, most of this dish actually dates back to about 6,000 BC, believe it or not. Most of these ingredients do. Very good. Tastes great. It's got that subtleness of the roasted garlic and oil. So that flavor's in there. It's been infused and it's in there, which is great. And then you have the lightly sautéing of your cherry tomato, and throwing in the last minute of your arugula, and then adding a little pepper and a little Parmesan cheese. What's better than that? Okay, and again, you can serve this cold if you want. You can make it into a salad, whatever you want. Let's see what we got here. We got a couple of questions. Joe Stas used to have wild arugula in his backyard in the Bronx, and that's a great twist to the dish. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that coming from you. And there you are. Okay, Joan Kruper says that everything Felix makes looks delicious and pretty easy to make. Yes, and that's the way I want it. I want it to be easy for you to make. You know, you get a lot of these chefs on TV. They make these complicated dishes, which is great, you know, but people out there just want to make something simple and that tastes great and that they can make themselves say, wow, I made that. And this is one of those dishes, which I really think everybody likes. I want to say hello to Dana out there, Dana Marie McAllister, who's been on my show a few times. Dana, hopefully when we get back to the studios, you'll be on again. Okay, so that's kind of neat. Now, just getting back to the dish. Now, garlic. What's garlic? Garlic dates back to about 5,000, 6,000 BC. It originated in Asia, Central Asia, and the Mediterranean. And I don't know if you know this, but China has or supplies 80% of the world with garlic, which is interesting. Now, garlic was also has a lot of medicinal purposes to it, believe it or not. It is an antibacterial type of food. So in other words, it'll fight any kind of infections or anything like that in the body. It's great for your respiratory system, which is what's going on now with the COVID. It's great for your blood pressure. What else garlic does? Garlic is great for gums as well. And this is just a few things that I learned about garlic. And then the other thing about garlic is it's great if you're going to exercise. You have garlic, and what it does is it opens up your arteries and your veins, so it gets that blood flowing more, and it's great for exercising. It's also a great, because of that, it's also a great brain power type food as well. It'll increase your brain power from all that, and you'll get, hopefully maybe everybody will get a higher IQ if you eat more garlic. So that's just like some of the things, and it's also anti-inflammatory as well, which is something that I look for because I have arthritis in my hip. So I look for things that are anti-inflammatory. And it's also used, you know, obviously back in Rome too, they used it for like an aphrodisiac. It supposedly helps your sexual drive. Then getting to arugula about the same thing, and that was grown in southern Europe and the Mediterranean. It came to us through the British. The British came here and imported arugula to us. The ancient Romans used to use arugula for an aphrodisiac as well. And arugula is an herb. It's not a vegetable. It's an herb in the mustard family, as a matter of fact. And that's also an anti-inflammatory food. So I'm going to eat a lot of arugula now in my diet. And it was also Frank Sinatra's favorite too. If anyone's a Frank Sinatra fan, he loved arugula as well. Okay, so there you have it. Everything we had today dates back to the ancient times and is quite medicinal and healthy, and will help us, especially anti-inflammatory and our blood pressure, everything else. And I do believe that arugula also will help your blood pressure. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. But there's a lot of medicinal parts to that. And of course you have your olive oil as well. Okay, Carla Okerson is watching. Last time she was watching also. That's great, Carla. I'm glad that you're watching it. Maybe one day you could come on my show as well. You and maybe your other people that are on your show. Okay, so that's what I got here. This is what we got for today. Again, for those that just are tuning in now, we did a roasted garlic and oil pasta. That's what we did. We did a roasted garlic and oil pasta with some garden vegetables, a product. And again, arugula is not a vegetable; it's an herb. So we did arugula and tomato in with our pasta, which is great. And we also used a Ronzoni Smart Pasta, which has high dietary fiber. It has no saturated fat. It has no sugar. It has about 1% sodium, which isn't bad either as well. It's delicious, folks. That with arugula, delicious. So that's our dish. I hope you all like it. We're going to add it to the many episodes that we've done so far. Again, our last episode with the Indian fried bread, it's climbing up to almost 2,000. It's about 1,800 now. So keep sharing that episode. My pesto episode is about 2,500 viewers, and this is just on Facebook. It doesn't include YouTube. So we're doing well. When we get back, I don't know if we're going to be able to do demonstrations in food. I wish I could at least include that at least once or twice a month into the show, or have a separate show. In order to do that, maybe we could get some of the chefs on the island to participate in that, and maybe some comedians to come on the show and cook their favorite dish. That would be really neat. So you get to see the people from the other shows as well come on our show and do some of their favorite dishes, some of their cooking. Everybody likes to cook, no matter what way you are, what profession you're in. Usually, most people love cooking. As far as the studio, I'm not sure. I heard September. I think they're working on it now. I did not see Knock 'em Dead this morning. In a way, I don't know if they want me to watch them. I want to officially apologize to Sally. I actually texted her about, I don't know, maybe 6:30 in the morning, something, and I believe she got a little mad at me, and I don't know. I guess my reasoning was, when I texted at that time, I figured the person has their phone off, and they'll get it when they wake up. But unfortunately, Sally doesn't do that, so I woke her up, and I want to apologize deeply for that. I've been kind of a pest to Knock 'em Dead lately, so as we wind down and get closer to the studio, I'm looking forward to working with them. I'm looking forward to working with everybody else at the studio, and I'm quite excited to see what we're going to have, what kind of a studio we're going to have. Terrible, right?
It was horrible.
It was horrible. My wife always says every time I cook a dish, it's so horrible that she has to clean the bowl up so that no one else
gets subjected to that.
Right. So that's my wife.
I'm saving people.
That's it. That's what she says. It was horrible. So whenever I hear horrible, I know it's a good thing. And getting to my wife, she's been doing some gardening with all this COVID stuff going on, and I want to commend her. I have one of her products right here that that she did, which is a nice, if you see it right there, it's a nice Japanese eggplant right here. Now, Japanese eggplants I love, because you could do, not that, you could do the same things that you do a regular eggplant with a Japanese one, but I love the color, I love the shape of it. It's not wide or big or anything like that. And, oh, by the way, honey, you actually are on Facebook now.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
That's okay. So, this is a nice Japanese eggplant. When my younger days as a chef, I used to make a snapper dish, a red snapper dish, where I would make a red pepper coulis, and then also broil the red snapper, and at the last moment, underneath the salamander and the flame, I would, I used to have a very thin slice of the Japanese eggplant, and it had that purple skin on it, and I would put it on top of the snapper and stick it underneath the broiler, and it would envelop the top of it. It would like melt right onto the top of it. So between that and the red pepper coulis, or the red pepper sauce with the snapper, it was quite a dish, and I was very proud of myself. I thought of that one myself. So again, not that hard to make either. You just need a nice broiler where you can get that to go on top. I'm just gonna check out all my messages here, see if I missed anybody. You said Jeff Bosey, Joe Staz, Joe Kupiesha, Greg DeFilippo, how are you, buddy? Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. We got Tom Galati. Tom never quite made it to my show. Hopefully when we get back, he'll be on the show. We were going to have him on, but then with the COVID, everything obviously went down south, as they say. So Tom Galati, how are you? He says, hey chef, thank you. I appreciate everybody calling me chef. It is a sign of respect, and one which I have to say I do deserve. I've been a chef for a long time now, and I've worked hard at it. Okay, and we got Joe Staz, who's my main man, and we have Carla Okerson. Okay, so that's what we have. That's our dish for today. Next week, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try and keep it healthy. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and keep it as healthy as possible. And for the fall, I have a few ideas as far as I'm concerned. I'm trying to hook up now with a nutritionist who's going to help me hopefully lose some weight. And hopefully, if they want to, I'm going to feature them on the show, or maybe once a month, to see what my progress is. Any recommendations they can make for cooking and everything, I will pass on to you, and the diet as well. And we're going to see how well we do. Okay, I'm hoping to do well. I've done diets before and I've lost weight. But the thing is always maintaining weight, and that's what you want to do, is the maintenance. So we're gonna try that in the fall. Hopefully that'll work out. I'll hook up with a good nutritionist and one that wants to be on the show, even if they call in or something like that. This way they'll offer advice to me, which can be carried on to you. All right, you know what else would be good with this, believe it or not? Especially if you do it in a salad, cold salad or whatever. Some feta cheese. Feta cheese would probably be really good in this pasta. It is Mediterranean with the feta. Probably delicious. You could probably even add olives to it, which gives a little Greek twist between the feta and the olives. And then you have the arugula, the tomato. For those of you who love all that would probably be great in this as well. Again, I just had about maybe 3 forkfuls, and not feeling that heaviness that you would with regular sauce, meat sauce, with the sausage and the meatballs and the thickness of the meat sauce. Not that I don't love it, I do love it. I grew up on that. It's flowing through my veins as we speak. But this is kind of nice light dish for today, especially with the heat and everything. So, as you can see, Harry loved it. I'm gonna finish it off for my lunch, and probably tonight, who knows? Maybe we'll just have salad or something like that. So, anyone out there that has any ideas, please text me. Anything that you want me to make, anything that I haven't made yet that you want to get into, we'll do that. I may try some desserts coming up. I'm gonna see. I like to do something that you guys can make in about 20 to 30 minutes. It's very simple, and you make it. You're proud of what you did. You sit down, you eat, and you have a great meal. And that's the purpose of what I want to do. Hopefully, eventually, I will be doing a cookbook out there with a bunch of recipes like this that will make things simple most of the time. And it'll have kind of a little twist to it as well. So that's one of my projects. I have so many projects that I haven't done yet. I guess with all this COVID thing, everybody's getting lazy or whatever. But that's what I have going on. And once again, I have my chef apron that's like a SWAT apron. So because I am the COVID-19 Iron Chef, I am dressing like this because it's combat time. And what are we combating? We're combating COVID-19. And this is one dish that actually can combat COVID-19. You have your garlic, which is an antibacterial, which fights infection. It helps with respiratory diseases and conditions. So there you go. All right, and then it gives you energy. It opens up your blood vessels. It opens up your arteries. It opens up your veins. And it gives you more power to your brain. So the veins in the brain for your garlic and everything is great. And then we have our arugula, which is an herb. Everybody remember, arugula is an herb. It's in the herb family, and it's also healthy. Both of these are also anti-inflammatories. So if you have arthritis and everything, it's going to help you with that. I think I've done enough talking. We still have some time. If anybody has any questions at all, please comment right now, and we'll get into it. See, tell me what you think of the dish. I got a few people that say they love it. What else we got here? Let's see what we got. It says here. Okay. Still got the Joe Stas is agreeing with Joan Cooper Asher that everything I make looks good, which is great. It means I'm doing my job out there. And remember, we're doing, here at Govsradio, we're fixing up the studio and everything like that. And it's all part of what you do for us. Couldn't be possible without your viewership. And for me, I want to do whatever I can for the viewers to make things entertaining for you and good for you, because you're basically like my family, or you are family, or we are family. So all I want to do is make things good, have people enjoy it. To me, food it can solve many things. Hopefully, one day maybe it'll solve world peace. Maybe it'll solve a lot of different things with government, what's going on now. We all come from somewhere. We all have backgrounds. We all have, I think, backgrounds, and food is a part of that. And if you learn all these different backgrounds and foods and everything like that, it'll help you understand the people that are here in the world, in the U.S., and what they are. And it'll help you respect them more, and also enjoy what they are used to, like with the Indian fry bread, the Navajo Indian fry bread. I love making that. Why? Because it was something different, but also I got to learn about the Native Americans from making that fry bread, and it made me feel a part of their heritage. And I can't say anything else with that. Just to learn making that helps me become more educated about learning about the culture of the Native American Indians. So that's what I have to say for today. I'm going to be signing off in about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna check my messages one more time, and it doesn't look like him yet. Okay. So there you go. All right. So whoever was watching. I know there's other people out there. Please share the show. And I guess that's pretty much it for today. It's not as hot as it was the other day, which is great. So make this dish. It's a nice light dish. You'll enjoy it. If my Aunt Jenny is watching out there, Aunt Jenny, this is my lunch. I'm not adding anything to it. It's a nice healthy lunch. So please, why don't you make it for yourself too, Aunt Jenny, and think of me. All right. So there you go, everyone. I'm going to be signing off. Maybe by this time next year, you'll see a nice svelte chef, and I'll be making even other dishes for you as we get more into the nutritional aspects of things. I'm going to try and see if we have a different show where I can actually cook things that are more healthy for us, and also restaurants too, like the Purple Elephant, which is a vegetarian restaurant. And to see other beneficial foods, like we have the poke bowls and everything else, that will add to people's health benefits. All right, take care. God bless. Be safe with the COVID. Be safe in general with your families and everything. Enjoy life. Enjoy food. Voila, and bon appetit, and have a great meal. Love food, love people. Remember that. Love food, love